My dudes, what is going on? It has been way too long. We're sitting here on a Sunday evening for once, no longer a Monday evening, Tuesday evening pod. Just wrapped up a good slate of Sunday NFL football. Junior, what's going on, man? You trying to ring in the holidays with them tight braids and that Christmas sweater?
Well, first of all, it's a holiday sweater. You know what I'm saying? We aren't going Christmas, but, it's definitely a holiday theme. And yeah, we're getting in. It's November. We got the Christmas lights up day one, first day of November as always. So we're ready to get it in.
Nice. JD, bro, what's going on, man? I like the background you got going on today. How you feeling?
Just trying to zen from this Raider loss. You know what I'm saying? Trying to.
It was close. It was very close. We can get into that in the NFL portion, and we may get into it right now because as Kanye and LeBron and others will introduce this next segment. Stud of the week, bum of the week. Gitano, who you got, man? I have a feeling I know who you got for your bum, but go ahead with your stud and your bum.
Man, my stud's got to go to Yamamoto from the Dodgers. What a cap of a season for the Dodgers up in Toronto. Toronto versus LA beef, and it looks like LA won this battle again. But he pitched great, shutout game 2, complete game. Then he pitches yesterday, the day before. Game 6, they got to have it. Six innings, 1 run. Then he comes in and gives them 3 innings last night. So got all 3 wins, or 3 of the 4 wins that it takes to win a 7-game series. But man, the Japan connection between him and Ohtani these last 2 years, since they signed both of these guys, 2 World Series championships. It's hard to beat that. Man, the bum of the week is very repetitive for me, and that's Cincinnati's defense.
Cincinnati, we're going with Cincinnati, bro.
Yes, we're going with Cincinnati at home again. I don't even talk about what my team did or didn't do. We didn't have chances or thinking about a Super Bowl. Cincinnati does. I'm just being honest, because they got that guy, that Joe Burrow pack. But they've given up so many points. It's stupid. Like 50 points in the last 2 fourth quarters. Like, this is mad.
Fair, the Bears, they're different. The Bears are tougher this year.
Not that different. Okay.
I mean,
the Raiders were a block.
2-point conversion.
Raiders could have beat them.
Did you guys see the 2-point conversion? The pass to Caleb? I mean, that's
sure, but
just Ben Johnson right there.
It's the end of the game, and you just go in with your head down. You're supposed to tackle him, not hit him. That is the game, is to tackle, not hit.
Yeah.
So, and then you got the rookie tight end, catches it, stays on his feet, goes to the house. So, the bum of the week is Cincinnati, who has been a habitual line stepper on this show for bum of the week.
All right, June. Go ahead and give us your bum and your stud, and please throw someone from the Raiders organization in there.
Man, I'm gonna go a couple of quarterbacks here. The Raiders, I'm over the Raiders, man. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not letting them hurt me anymore, man. I mean, at least for this season, like, it's just like apathy has kicked in, and it's like, whatever. They lost today. I ain't even flinch, man. It was just like, whatever, just another day. They're not ruining my Sunday. Okay, I'm over. I'm gonna go with a couple of quarterbacks though. So my bum of the week is Jordan Love, man.
Birthday.
On his birthday, and he may be in the top 5 in like every meaningful quarterback category this year, and I just don't care because when I've watched him play a ton of games this year, and I just don't get it, man. He seems like he's got everything that you need to be a great quarterback, and he's okay with just being a good quarterback. And I don't get it. I don't know what it is, why they play down the level of their competition so much, but he is the leader of that. And
mid, extra mid.
Yeah, man. So bum of the week.
Reginald.
Yeah, Reggie. Yeah, just call him Reggie. We gonna call Jordan Reggie from now on, bro. His name is Reggie. But stud of the week, I think this might be back-to-back weeks, or at least 2 times in the last 3 Seahawks. But Sam Darnold, man,
Sammy D.
look.
Arnold.
We could revisit that conversation of would I rather have Darnold or Geno, and obviously the answer is Darnold at this point. Okay, he's does it help to have someone like Jackson Smith and Jigba? Yeah, it helps, man. It helps. Not gonna lie.
But he threw 2 touchdowns to the rookie in the first quarter, in the first half, and then he had a tight end rookie. Like there's 3 rookie touchdowns.
Yeah, regardless, he's dealing. Period. Right, not just to Jackson. Like he's dealing. So I got to give Darnold some love. As much as like I want to hate on him, I probably did hate on him. He's balling out. So shout out.
There you go. I'm gonna go with my stud of the week. It was close. I wanted to do something a little obscure, and I was gonna go with Ryan Rollins from the Bucks, who was a nobody last year. Was the backup to Dame, but 32 against Golden State, 25 in 26 minutes against the Knicks, showing that they're not just a Giannis team. But I'm gonna hold on that, and I'm gonna go with a guy named Bo Nix, Mr. Fourth Quarter. Like the last 2 weeks, what he has done in the fourth quarter. Granted, they shouldn't have been in that position to begin with, but when it's fourth quarter time, he turns it on. It's winning time, and I believe that you guys would give up a limb to have him as your quarterback for the Raiders. Like what Geno did, I love the play call to go for 2 to win it. But then Geno gets his pass tipped. Is that an O-line fault? Is that a Geno fault? I don't know. Is that a play call fault? But
I don't know.
If you guys had somebody that had some fourth quarter moxie, some juju.
Yeah. No, Kris, no, you don't get it, bro. It doesn't matter how good they are going into the Raiders. Once they become the Raiders quarterback, they're cheeks, bro. It's like a magic spell. It's like a magic spell that goes over quarterbacks. And once they get here, they forget how to play football. So like, I feel you on that, but like we got to break a curse or something before any good quarterback can step into the Raiders and not get ruined.
Uniforms. Maybe
never.
It's the uniforms, bro.
Never.
I don't know. That's stubborn.
Never.
Kill yourself.
My bum of the week is the motherfuckers at YouTube TV. Fucking everything up, bro. Right?
Facts.
Right?
Big facts.
I mean, is it YouTube TV though, or is it ESPN though? I mean, who are you going to give it the bum to?
They knew that Disney was going to come to the table and ask for more money. Mm-hmm. And they're running these little ads at the top of their screen that say, "Oh, visit this website to make sure that we don't lose ESPN on YouTube TV." But the thing is, bro, like that ain't gonna do shit. And I said on the last pod that call to action should have been to the FCC. Well, I did a little research, and the FCC actually does not control consumer streaming rights. It's fucking Congress that needs to do something so that we're not flipping between all these different apps to watch a game. During a commercial break, switch to another game. You can't. I miss Comcast. Like I never thought I would say that, bro. Like, so
bro,
now,
I might go back to DirecTV.
Like we're going to tape the cable together. We're not cord cutting anymore. We're trying to glue the motherfucker back together.
Yeah,
but,
and the thing is, hold on though, but like I'm not to do an ad for Comcast right now, but bro, like they got packages where like you sign up for Xfinity and you get like Netflix and like Disney Plus and like these things for like a super low rate for like a bundle. So you don't actually end up losing that much from going with Comcast. It's terrible to say, bro.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so this is going to be in the next segment, but we'll just get into it now. So right now, for instance, to watch the Blazers, you need Blazer Vision, right? And there's no standalone app for that. You have to get it through the NBA app. So I'm watching the NBA app. But with League Pass, that's also in the NBA app, but it's a clunky user experience and interface. So what you can actually do is sync it with Prime, so that your Prime becomes like your guide, right? And you can flip the channels, watch the different NBA Cup games, whatever. But then if there's a game on ESPN, you have to go to the ESPN app, which is also a weird user experience, but you can watch live sports through Hulu, which catchy ass ads from a year ago. Hulu has live sports. So now my 2 main apps that I use to watch sports are Prime and Hulu, which is fucking nuts. Like I never like what? So my whole phone is all messed up and my Apple TV is backwards. But
welcome to the future, bro. Okay.
Yeah, and that's not even to mention Peacock. Like to watch USC on Saturday night, it was like I canceled my Peacock subscription, but I'm still in the billing cycle, so I could watch that. But if there's an NBA game on, like it is a headache. And hopefully Congress does something, man. Where you at, Donald Trump?
Yeah, bro. Let's get these dudes back in session, man. We gotta open the government.
That's what they're arguing about.
Yeah. You know
NBA
what?
Streaming.
And what's funny is, there have been bills. So do y'all remember like back in the day with like TV when like the commercial would come on, the commercial would be hella loud, right? So you have a quiet zone and the commercial come on, they'd be hella loud, bro. Yeah. So there's like no regulation for that on like streaming, or like limited regulation. I saw they introduced like a bill to try and limit that as well. So like you gotta like normalize the volume for commercials now on streaming.
Who cares about that?
I know, bro, but like it's just one of those things that like a lot of people actually do care about, man. It's annoying as hell.
It's the Karens and the Nancys that want to talk to Congress.
Hey, well, look, man,
they're the ones that watch streaming services with ads.
I'll support. Yeah, it's true, man. I don't really watch it with ads. I mean, but you can't get away from with live sports, right? I mean, that's the one thing you can't get away with.
You flip to the other game,
Okay.
That's what happens.
Called channel surfing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, bro. I don't do that. Sorry.
I mean, me and Gitano pay for our services.
Bro, y'all need to stop with that. I pay for all of my services. Y'all are tripping, man.
His nickname is Junior
What'd you pay for
when
Premiere? What'd you pay for Adobe Premiere Pro?
I did, bro. It's the street fee. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
He paid for the internet. Okay, that's what people say. Well, I pay for the internet, so whatever on the internet, I get.
Hey, bro, don't tell anybody, but I don't. When I go to the grocery store, because they raised that shit to 10 cents. Like, 8 cents was all right, but 10 cents, now we got problems.
Hey, do you, man?
One of them, like Fred Meyer is like, how many would you like to say you use? Like, instead of how many did you use, like, how many would you like to be? Well, if you're asking me how much I want to be charged for, I'm gonna say 0.
It's a victimless crime, bro. Okay,
it really is. And they work good as garbage bags and whatnot. But anyway, let's stick with the NBA, and I think there's a topic that we whoa, Trae Young making a cameo, bro. So
not looking good. Not looking good, guys.
So your leader, Trae Young, is out. He's making cameos in our segment intros. How are you feeling about your Atlanta Hawks and their pace to 60 wins?
I think it's pretty clear how I'm feeling, y'all. And hey, I went out on a limb. That limb broke. Okay, I snapped it. I fell down the tree.
For another 6
you know
months.
what I'm saying?
The internet is forever.
Yeah,
this guy said I went out on a limb. Like, come on, Junior. What type of limb is that? The Hawks 60 wins. I mean,
I was buying into the. I was buying into the Porzingis addition, to the length that they had, to the defense that they were going to have, and then
what happened, dog? They only need 57 more wins.
It's a long season, so. Like, sure, they ain't going to get to 60, but they could still maybe not be a dumpster fire. But here's the thing. Here's why I have motivation to root against myself. Because the Spurs still own a pick swap with Atlanta. So if Atlanta is one of the worst teams in the league, the Spurs about to get another lottery pick, which I'm okay with. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it.
Okay. You guys been watching the and actually the most important part of that update is that the Hawks are officially, as of Sunday night, November 2nd, they are 3-4, and the Lakers are 4-2. So,
we just won today. I thought we were 5-2. We beat Miami. What's more likely to happen? Junior's Miami 50 wins or the Hawks 60?
I mean, obviously the Miami 50. I mean, you're not even close.
And 50 is easier.
Yeah, did Norman Powell play tonight?
No, who's going to have more wins, Lakers or Miami?
Miami, because they're in the East, bro. Like, I think it's just default because they're in the East. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Chop that one up.
You Lakers get a rematch against my Blazers tomorrow too. With Luka, we'll see if Drew can lock him up. It was okay. NBA Cup. You guys been watching the games? Like the courts. Some of the courts are hit or miss. I like Portland's, even though you were down bad on their red alts, bro, that have been around for like 3 years.
Yeah, I know, but I remember I didn't watch the Blazers much, so like that was the first time I guess I really like took I clocked those uniforms, and I'm sorry, man, they look like a college uniform or like a warm up or like a practice uniform. They don't look high quality NBA uniform, man. I'm sorry, they do not. Okay.
Luka came back, looked aight. What did he drop? 40,
40.
42, 40 flat.
Yeah, I mean, Lakers are. I mean, without LeBron, I think the addition of Smart is just raised everybody's defensive game. Diving on the floor. The game against Minnesota was a good game. Minnesota, Ant didn't play, but Minnesota's still a good team, and we've had trouble with them. So the NBA Cup is great competition. I think there was great competition. Every bucket actually matters. So when you see somebody get, dubbed by 20 plus, their plus or minus, they got a big up now because they won a game by 20 plus points. Like I think it was somebody did over the
so
Jazz.
Point differential counts.
Oh yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
You make it, if there's a tie, that is the first tiebreaker.
Yeah, and Tiago Splitter said that the Blazers were in the group of death. He's a European, so he brought that group of death analogy in. And I didn't remember all of the brackets, but I do remember there was a couple difficult ones. I mean, the Spurs have to play the Rockets in their first NBA Cup matchup, and I'm pretty sure they're in a tough bracket too. Okay,
so Portland's right here. It's Portland, Golden State, Houston, the Thunder, and the Nuggets. So there's no way the Rockets are in the Spurs, though. I wasn't even saying that to call you out. I just had like NBA Cup pulled up.
I mean, I'm referencing what I saw on the broadcast tonight. So, either I just clocked that wrong or they were actually wrong, bro.
They were probably wrong, bro.
I mean, it probably was.
How do you, speaking of the Spurs, though, how do you feel about them starting 5-0? I mean, they're not undefeated anymore, but they were 5-0 for the first time in history, which that part was wild for a lot of people to hear.
I mean, especially considering like the Spurs and what they've been over, the Tim Duncan era and the David Robinson era for that matter, never starting 5-0. It's kind of wild. But the vibes are high right now. You can't win them all. So, took an L tonight. They didn't show up, didn't have that same energy. Really, shout out to Dylan Harper. Hope he's okay. He had a calf strain or a sprain or something. He was walking in a boot. So like that's a tough loss. Now we're supposed to get De'Aaron Fox back next week, so it'll be less of a loss. But I'm riding high, man. Spurs they're killing it. They're definitely going to get that 6th seed at least in the West. My prediction still stands. They're going to make the playoffs. And Wemby had an off game today, so I can't wait to see what happens as he bounces back because he's going to take that personally.
Or the key to beating them is just double teaming Wemby.
Yeah, you know what? I don't see Wemby letting that happen, man. He's a student of the game. He's too smart. You're not gonna let that happen.
Speaking of cold takes, I might have been wrong about the Sixers.
At least I had a good take on that one because I thought they were gonna be good.
Your NBA takes, other than the Hawks take, have been pretty spotless, bro.
I'll take it.
Yeah, take those takes. JD, so Austin Reeves, who has been, we all knew he was legit, but it seems like some of these inside the NBA, they're saying like he's just coming out of nowhere. The game winner against Minnesota. Were you watching that game?
Yeah, buddy.
What? I mean, he was unconscious, bro. What did he have? 16 assists also? Like he was polished. Luka light.
It's look. Shout out to the player development because again, we're developing players like Alex Caruso, play defense, move the ball, and they're gonna leave us and get the bag, but. That I think that goes to playing with somebody like LeBron because you got to hone in and focus because these other players in this NBA don't take their craft as serious. Ja Morant or Zion, these young guys, But when you see a young guy lock in like a Wemby, like a Giannis, and take it serious, good things happen. So Austin Reeves is locked in. He's like, all right, LeBron's gone, bet. Luka's gone, all right, bet. Watch what I do. Watch me cook. Watch me play make. Watch me ball handle and get other people shots. Let me close out a game. He's done that already this season. Like I said in the first episode of the NBA season, we need him to be that 3 option, that all-star playmaker for us to have a championship run. And so far, it's a long season. This is a marathon. We're only 6 games into an 80-game 2 season. But so far, it looks great. And we don't even have the king back yet. So there's still a lot of meat on this bone.
Yeah, and let me just add something to this discussion though. Is there a chance that at this point Austin Reeves is underpaid?
Sure, that's why I said he's going to leave and get the bag.
Well,
Right,
but didn't he signed a 4-year extension already, right?
A couple years ago.
Oh, okay. So he hadn't signed his extension. Okay,
Bro,
okay.
He got $180 million 4-year deal 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, so then he's earning that money now. I think a lot of people were saying last year, especially like, I don't know if he's going to live up to that contract. But I'm gonna call back to a couple pods ago, also when we were talking about Reeves. First of all, this is an Austin Reeves supporting podcast and always has been. I don't think any of us have ever hated on Austin.
Team White,
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, man. I've recognized the skill set, and I think, we got to see even more of that with Luka out because, again, he really is best with that ball in his hand, being that creator. I saw someone talking about him in the media or something the other day about how he's not just a spot up shooter anymore. And it's like, he was never really just a spot. That was really, that was never even his game. So I was like, oh man, this dude don't know what he's talking about. But you got to see that even more with Luka out. And Austin Reeves is averaging 30 points, 32 points a game. And I know the season is young, but that's wild.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of players averaging astronomical numbers still. But back to the Lakers. So we had said that LaRivia, and maybe it's because of injuries, but LaRivia and Connect wouldn't play at the same time. They played at the same time on Friday, and LaRivia was wet. I think he only missed, I think he was 10 for 11, 26 points. But I keep wanting to call him Doug McDermott, but Dalton Connect, he caught a lob on the break, bro. And
he is athletic. He can get up. He can get up.
A lot of whites over there, and we'll take it.
I'm very impressed with that young man. His ability to. There's a couple plays where he's fighting through contacts of and ones against in the cup last night. Tonight he was cooking real early. Against Miami. So good.
You talking about Dalton? You talking about Dalton or LaRivia? Okay, yeah, okay.
He's definitely. I was not familiar with his game. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well,
and
that's what happened
so far
in Sacramento.
Yeah, another one of Junior's fire takes. So that's clean, man. I said LaRivia was going to be a difference maker, and here we are.
I think his back hurts from patting himself too hard.
I mean, man, come on, bro. if we gonna dog me, I need to prop myself up, then, man.
But hey, I propped you up. I've been said that your basketball takes were.
I appreciate it.
But now I got to bring you back down to earth.
Okay.
But so Giannis is getting 34 a game. Tyrese Maxey is still right under 34 a game. SGA, who I hate talking about, 34 a game. Lauri Markkanen, Team Finland, 33 a game.
He's lighting it up, man.
That's our guy, man.
He's lighting it up.
And Austin Reeves, 32 a game. Jalen Brunson, 31, and Devin Booker, 30. So there's 7 guys still averaging above 30, which is nuts.
It'll even out though, but
it will. Then are the Bulls good? Like, I don't think that they are, but they're tied for the best the best record in the East, at 5-1. Have you guys seen them play at all? I haven't seen a full game of them.
I've seen them play a little bit, and shout out to my guy Vucevic. Hey man, I feel like dude, like the rumors of his demise were greatly exaggerated, man. People were talking about how he was washed and, why are they keeping him in this rebuild and all this stuff. And like all this dude's going out doing is literally leading this team. He's averaging 20 points, 12 rebounds, 4.5 assists a game. He's doing it, man. And he's been in the league for 12 plus years now. So shout out to Vucevic. And yeah, Josh Giddey, he found that place where he can really play his game. There was just too many mouths to feed in OKC. He couldn't, and with SGA dominating the ball, that just wasn't his place where he could thrive. And, we got Buzelis out here.
A good trade for both teams.
Yeah, it was one of those rare good trades. And shout out to Trey Jones, ex-Spur. I hated on Trey a lot playing with the Spurs just because, he's just a smaller guard. He has a really hard time playing defense. But he's playing 30 minutes a game for them, averaging 12 points, almost 7 assists, and 2.5 steals. I mean, that's solid point guard play. So,
and he still don't have Kobe White out. Kobe White's been out the whole season. So
right.
But those types of things really, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I saw someone compare him to the Baby Bulls today, where was the Ben Gordon, the Kirk Heinrich, like that squad where, where they had that energy. I don't think that they're going to finish in the top 3 in the East, but they're looking like a playoff team right now.
A playoff, not play in, so top 6. But yeah, the Bulls are looking nice. I forgot what I was interrupting you with, so maybe it wasn't even that important. But Gitano, you had something on the Bulls?
I mean, they gave Coach Donovan an extension. They believe in this coach. I don't know if he's that great of a coach, but so far they're looking like they're going to be what they were last year, a pain in the ass. They came back and beat my Lakers in that game at the end of the season last year, when we just forgot to play defense. So I think that's what the Bulls and what Coach Donovan's teams are always been like, this hustle, grit type of mentality, not the Memphis way, but a Coach Donovan way. The same thing that he coached when he was at Florida. We grit, we grind, we scrap, and we play, winning basketball. Winning basketball still wins in the NBA.
And his OKC teams, they were known for KD and Russ, and a little bit of Harden and Ibaka, but they were scrappy too. They played tough defense. Ibaka would that was a tough team as well. But they get known for their flash and their scoring. One last.
I don't think he was there when Harden was there.
Maybe not when Harden was there.
That was Scott Brooks, huh?
Yeah, they fired Scott Brooks for him, and then that's when Harden left.
But okay, so not Harden, but the KD and Russ era.
And Ibaka, you were right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw something that I kind of liked, being that Christian James McCollum is my guy. And since New Orleans traded him, they haven't won a game. They are defeated, 0-6, almost had a win the other night, lost at a buzzer beater. And I'm not a Zion guy. I'm not a Jordan Poole guy. I'm kind of I'll root for DeJounte Murray, but he hasn't been playing just because he's from the area. Mm-hmm. But seeing them 0-6 down at the bottom of the league with the Nets is doesn't make me upset.
Yeah, I mean, I gave Zion the bum of the week last week. Deservedly so. And I don't know if it's a curse, Kris, but I just don't see it for them. Like I love DeJounte Murray, obviously former Spur, but he's not going to move the needle enough for them to be all of a sudden a play-in team or a playoff team. Right. So, and they trade their number 1 pick in the offseason, this year, they're man, bro. I don't see a way out for them. They're looking at another, 3-4 years of just not being good, unless Zion can somehow start playing 80 games a year. And come on, man,
too many distractions.
I just don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, they're losing games by an average margin of 18 points a game, the largest differential. At least Brooklyn's only losing by 15.
Yeah, and the worst part about maybe New Orleans is that they got pieces that are actually good players. They could, if they had a fire sale, people would be wanting players that they have on their team, right? Murphy, Jones, Ingram, if his contract wasn't so bad, but plenty of teams be interested in Ingram still. Zion, obviously,
he's in Toronto.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. My bad. My bad. But my point still stands because they shipped him out, right? So they had an asset, okay. But they have good assets. Hawkins on their team. I mean,
Jordan Hawkins, bro.
Yeah. Like, I mean, especially for like a playoff
let's
team.
Cut the bait here. Hold on. Let's cut the bait here.
No.
Hold on.
No. Jordan Hawkins is a solid NBA player.
They need to sell the Benson family. They need to sell it to Seattle and take the franchise out of there and give it new life and let them, sorry, New Orleans, you had Pistol Pete, you had Anthony Davis, you had Chris Paul and all these. It's time to separate and give the Sonics back a team and let the Sonics have Zion and let Zion be the new Sean Kemp.
Okay. I don't hate it.
Yeah. And I said that was the last thing, but what the last thing, Josh suspended again for just kind of being a dick, I guess, to his coach. Like what?
Yeah, he was like they were trying to have a huddle, and he's just on the other end of the bench, just like looking disinterested, and apparently not listening to the coach. And JD, did you watch the breakdown Blake Griffin did of Zion on Amazon TV for the NBA games? Anyway, he did.
I turned it off right at the end when he started talking about it.
Okay, so they just showed a little clip package of Ja just being disinterested on the court, man. Just like you're the highest paid player, or actually I think Jaren Jackson is, but like you're the heart of the team. Like they only go as far as you go. And, the effort's just not there right now. And, he's known for being this electric player, playing with high energy and getting to the cup. And I saw something that like the frequency of him getting to the cup has gone down every year, basically since his first couple of years in the league. And I get it. Like he's had a lot of injuries and, he does need to play smarter. But if he's not attacking the rim, he's just not the same player. And what are you doing? So, man, it's sad. Like JD, you said in the text, it's sad, man. Because he's not going to turn it around. He's not going to change. It's not going to happen for him.
And then the other tidbit of disappointment of our stars is Joel talking trash to the Wizards fans. I mean, I guess talking trash is one thing, but then he does the suck it a little too many times, and. I mean, beat the Wizards, and he didn't even really do anything. It was Tyrese that won the game for them. So what are you doing, Joel?
Hey, you know what he's doing? He's not acting like a champion. I'm going to say that one bit. You would never see Shaq act like that. You would never see any dominant big man. Like looking at the fans doing some Generation X, 6, 7, like, come on, man. Like, no. What are we doing? Like these young, listen, this internet got people all the way fucked up.
Well, I think,
this shit is real bad. He's crashing out. Let's just say that. This is the beginning of his crash out. Over there doing suck it, to the Wizards. Come on,
I don't know. I think y'all are being too hard on him. And in your example of Shaq.
Junior, stop. Bro, Junior, stop. Don't give this grown-ass man.
No, let me get this takeoff, man.
He's not. No.
Let me get this takeoff. Come on.
Go. All right, go ahead.
First of all, Shaq is lightweight childish and has over the course of his career got in the middle of some things. Okay. And so like, I don't know that was the best example because Shaq is lightweight petty as well. But what I want to say about Joel is like, man, this dude just happy to be out there and healthy and playing, man. Okay. You know what I mean? So like, he's just having fun out there. Let the man have his fun. Like y'all saw Rico Dowdle for the Panthers today do the Key and Peele, the 2 pumps, and they still gave him the flag for the excessive celebration. Y'all know the Key and Peele sketch where the football player doing the celebration, he's doing the pumps, and the ref will let him get away with 2, but then the third one he flags him. Anyway, man. It's okay, man. Joel's having some fun. He's happy to be out there. Let the young man live. Okay. Let
him live. Let's let these young men live too. I don't know if you've seen it. I'd be shocked if I didn't send it to you, but A+ execution.
Not roasting a hot black and white.
Pascal Siakam and Furphy from the Pacers.
Tell me a story.
For Halloween. You guys see this? Did I send it to you?
A story.
I mean, hands down, been my favorite movie for 22 years.
You love it,
So,
bro. You love it so
just seeing
much.
that, like, who knew Siakam had the chops, and just to come on, that's beautifully executed.
That was cool.
All right, American football. Junior alluded to it. Are the Packers frauds?
Ooh.
I mean, or is it just the throwback uniforms that makes them frauds? Like, I like the helmets actually. The detail they had in those the leather helmets was pretty cool.
I told Christy you said that. She was like, "Nah, they're can." I was like, "Yeah, they're all right." You know what I mean? They're all right.
With Christy. Hey, come on, get out. Just it's cool. I mean, it's like, I think before they just had them all brown. They haven't had like the fake stitching.
No, I agree. The detail is actually pretty fresh. Like, I mean, shout out to like the artists or whatever, the equipment people that actually work on it, because they are clean. Like it's just as far as like the detail and the art, all that. But I root for Josh Jacobs, just former Raider. I really like Josh Jacobs. He's kind of a stand up guy. And so like I've been watching the Packers, and I texted y'all about it, like. And you hit it on the head, Kris. Like, just down to the level of their competition, more than like almost like more than any other team I can remember. Like, and it's just like it's been that way for years. And you know what, Matt LaFleur is. There's a reason why he's not Sean McVay. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like why he's not thought of as like Sean McVay. It's just because like he, for whatever reason, just doesn't have the consistency in his play calling that Sean McVay has. He just doesn't have it. And so while he has good runs, I think he gets in his own head and he's his own worst enemy a lot of times. So I'm putting I would say a lot of this on the coach there.
JD, you with us? You got a thought on the Packers?
Yeah, those uniforms are a copy. The helmets are of the Illinois helmets they wore last year for the Red Grange game.
True.
If you go look at the Illinois, the Fighting Illini.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
I think Green Bay is a solid team, and at the end of the day, it's always going to come down to their quarterback play. I think they got a great defense that has a closer at Michael Parsons, but it's going to come down to if Jordan Love can make the play at the end of the game. Just throwing the ball down the middle of the field and the free safety is just catching a punt.
That was terrible today.
It's just not what you want. And that's what type of play that a second-year quarterback. Jordan Love's been there for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
So he's not a rookie. He's been paid, and there's a expectation of quarterback play because of who he learned under and their offensive coordinator, period. And that's a great way to, are any of these guys that coached under McVay have that killer instinct? Sean McVay, Josh McDaniel, Shanahan. I know they were friends, but he's under his own tree. But there's got to come a point when you know how to put your foot on these dudes' necks as an offensive coordinator, as a play caller. Like, it comes down to you. And McVay is just, right now, he's number one.
Yeah, case in point, like they got the ball in the game, and like they're like in their last possession that they had, and they're running the ball, and it's like this is not a time to be running. I know you love running the ball, bro. Like, we get it, Matt LaFleur. You love running the ball, but it's 2-minute drill time, man. It's time to throw the ball. So yeah, I question that. I really do.
Yeah, I looked up those Illini helmets. You're right. You're spot on. Those were a carbon copy, maybe even hired the same artist, but. You can't hit them for trying. Like, when somebody does something cool, especially in a different league, you try to bring it and make it your own. So, not mad at the Packers for that, but good spot, JD. The Vikings Lions game. What's happening to my Lions? I thought this was going to be their year. You're losing to the Vikings. JJ McCarthy. They made him look like a stud. He came out 14 for 25, 143, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And especially in the first half, he looked like the best quarterback in that draft class. But was the Lions defense the reason for that, or was he that good, or a combination of the two? I know they've had injuries on that side of the ball. But it was piss poor, man. If I was a Lions fan for real, I would be upset.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's more the Lions defense making McCarthy look good than anything else. And it's kind of the same story as last year. How often did we say last year, man, if the Lions defense wasn't so banged up, they'd be the best team in the NFL, and like kind of say the same thing this year, right? Yeah, they got Hutch back, but now they're out like their top two corners and their safeties. And now like they got a patchwork secondary trying to, win these games, and they're not covering long enough to give Hutch a time to even get to the quarterback. So it's mostly that they're scoring enough points to win games. In theory, right? Jared Goff's playing. He's got a really good season going. He's completing 75% of his passes. He's got 15 TDs, 3 interceptions, 116 rating. Like the offense is doing it. They aren't running it as well as they did last year, but they're still averaging 5.1 yards for Jameer and 4.6 for Montgomery. So like they are still doing it. Amon-Ra is on his way to another, 1,000+ yard season. He's got to come back to that defense, man. And they're not holding up their end of the bargain right now.
Yeah, JD, thoughts on the McCarthy or the Lions?
Well, they gave Hutch the bag. So what I saw the thing. They spent over $1 billion on their core players. At the end of the day, it's time for these players to make some plays, regardless of who's up. It's next man up. Look at the 49ers. Injuries are a part of the game. The 49ers, they had their starting quarterback. They've lost their all-pro at both positions, defensive player of the year and tight end. So it's time to play ball. It's the next man up opportunity. And I don't think Coach Campbell is preaching, we're going to have players hurt. No. Some days and sometimes you got to deal or, roll with the players that you got. And the Lions ain't nobody hurt on offense. So then, outscore these motherfuckers in. You know what I mean? So if your defense can't do it, ask Peyton Manning and those guys, hey, well, defense ain't going to do it. We're going to outscore them then. So, like I said, you still got Gibbs and Montgomery, Amon-Ra, Laporta, Jameson. Ain't none of those dudes hurt.
That's the thing. Like their stars are playing well, at times great, but it's the rest of the team. It's the backups. If you are spending,
it's a football team.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I'm agreeing with you. If you spend heavy at the top, you don't have anything to pay your second stringers, your backups for when those starters get injured. This is what's going to happen. Good segue. How do the Niners keep winning? Well, it appears to be that they have a really strong practice squad, a really strong second string, and just a really good program that they're running. I haven't looked at their salary and how they're paying their stars, but letting players
they're just as top heavy as Detroit. They are just as top heavy as Detroit, if not more.
Then how do they keep winning?
I think it really comes down to coaching. We talk a lot about like coaching and in the college ranks as being such an X factor, but don't forget that in the NFL, coaching still matters. And I think a lot of us had questions about Kyle Shanahan going into this year, and this is going to be kind of a really prove it year for him. Like, hey man, you're going to really prove you can coach now. You paid all these guys, you lost a bunch of talent, and now it's time for the dudes to perform. And to his credit, the offense is doing just enough to win games. Now, they're not the same prolific offense as they have been, but they're doing just enough. And Robert Saleh on that defense. They're doing it
with a backup quarterback. Like, come on, Mac Jones ain't a starter. Like, he's been there. I'm just saying, like, they're doing just enough. Man, I'll take Mac Jones as my quarterback right now in Las Vegas.
Maybe, but without Shanahan, it's not the same though, JD. All right, and I'm just saying.
I understand that you got McCaffrey, you got Kittle.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that it looks, it's the visual test, the eye test. You know what I'm saying? When something looks good on TV, you know what I mean? Like she looked like a 10 on TV, but when you see her in person, you know what I'm saying? It might not be that way. But I'd rather have that. That's kind of how I feel about Mac Jones right now.
Well, and let's be fair. They beat the 2-6, 2-7 now Giants, who are down their two best offensive players. And
listen, in the NFL, they ain't giving away free wins. So
that's what I'm saying. But it's not like it was a headliner team coming in.
No. you
I
bring
don't
up my
like
point
them hanging
though.
around right there, nipping at the ankles of the Seahawks in the NFC West.
Yeah,
I got a question for you too, real quick. This is because we're talking about the Niners in Detroit, the NFC West, and the NFC North. Obviously, the North has a better record as far as total, but Arizona's been in those games as well. You know, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, you know, those three are top heavy, with Arizona being the bum. But then you got the North, Bears, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit. Which division is better?
The West. I just did a quick count. The North has 12 losses combined. The West has 11.
Yeah, I think it's a toss up at this point. I think both. I think even Cleveland is being like the worst team. Well, maybe Cincinnati, but
NFC, NFC.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, I was looking at the Detroit Lions schedule. The Minnesota being the worst team in that, like
they won 14 games last year.
Last year, though, with Sammy D, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying though, like Minnesota being the worst team in your division, that's a pretty strong division, right? And going back to the 49ers though, JD, you talk about like you don't care who they beat, but like I think it kind of matters here for this conversation. They beat Seattle in the first game of the year, and Seattle should have won that game. They were in position to win that game. I would say they gave that game away. The 49ers beat New Orleans. They beat Arizona by 1 point. They lost to Jacksonville. They beat the Rams in overtime, which the Rams, again, kind of choked that game away. They lost to the Tampa Bay. They beat the Falcons. They lost to the Texans, so they beat New York. Like, I think
the only big win there outside of the Seahawks game where it was kind of a fluke at the end was that overtime Thursday night game.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the Niners might get the break speed off of them at Los Angeles next week, man. So
the Rams or the Chargers?
The Rams.
Yeah.
So the Niners play the Rams.
Puka left the game. Was he all right?
Again.
I don't care, bro. Devontae Adams has turned back the clock. That man is looking scary again. And they're coaching anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams give it to the Niners next week. And but the thing about the Niners is their schedule is still easy. They got Arizona, then they got Carolina, Cleveland, Tennessee, the Colts, Chicago. You know, they end with Seattle, but like that's not a murderer's row. Yeah, that is an easy schedule.
The Colts and the Seahawks?
The Colts got exposed today, though, man.
Okay, segue. That was our last NFL topic. So the Colts lost. They had 6 turnovers. The Steelers' defense was supposed to be washed. Could have been self-inflicted. Could have been fluke. Could have been a combination of the both. Is this a one-off, or is it they're not as good as we thought they were?
Don't bury Mike Tomlin, man. Let him cook still. That's all I'm going to say is let Mike cook, because every time he gets doubted, he just comes out and wins 10 games. So
I mean, 10 games though, like that's literally mid. So all right. JD, thoughts on the Colts and the Steelers?
I think it's a little bit of both. You know, Pittsburgh fuming from that Thursday night loss, and you know, like, all right, we gotta, you know, TJ Watt, like, where you been at? You been MIA all season. Where's this high draft pick rookie linebacker at? You know, these guys. Somebody's got to make an effing play. You know, like the offense hasn't been the worst part of the team. It's really been the defense all year. So they came out at home and they did BTA on Daniel Jones and company. You know what I'm saying? It was belt to ass. Like, that was a straight ass whooping.
Yeah, Daniel Jones had 5. Was responsible for 5 of the 6 turnovers.
Exactly.
That led to
24
of the
him.
27 points.
That's
he got
the old
sacked
Daniel.
5 times. Danny Dimes was Danny Diming it today.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Taylor held to a low
50
rushing.
yards.
Yeah, and that's the key for them. If you hold JT to, you know, manageable stats and then you put it on Daniel Jones, I think that's the formula.
Yeah, that's the goal every week, right?
That's
like,
the formula,
put
bro.
the running back down and then just put clamps on the quarterback. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying, Daniel Jones is more likelihood.
They had a chance in this game towards the end, but again, the defense came up with a very, timely interception. There was a fumble. The interception, he just threw it right to the guy. Like, there wasn't much there. Like, what were you seeing? He saw a ghost like Darnold.
Yeah. All right, to the amateur ranks, or not so amateur because they get paid now. College football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday. It's Sunday night, so all of this could be moot very quickly, or we could run these back and be like, I told you so. I don't know if you guys noticed all of the Saturday games. At some point during their broadcasts, they had their halftime crews or their announcers go through and say, here's my prediction for the 12 teams. Throughout that, I saw Oregon matched up against two teams multiple times that kind of started to make me salivate. One was BYU, which, yes, please give us BYU in the first round, and then playing Indiana in the second round, because I don't know, but I really, 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 really have a strong feeling about that Ohio State thing that happened to us last year, where we got the regular season win, but then come playoff time is BTA time, as my man JD would say. So that scenario I like. The other one was matched up against Miami, and I would love to give Kris the ball an ass whooping that he deserves for running.
Miami is not making the play. They're not making the playoffs, bro.
After that after the loss, I don't know. But when these people were talking throughout the day, I saw Miami slotted in against us more than one occasion.
Yeah, no, they ain't making it, man. No way.
So there we go. There's one take. Early thoughts on the first week of college football playoff rankings.
JD, you got something?
Oh, I want to look at Miami's schedule and see. I mean, they play Syracuse, North Carolina State, which just had a big win against Georgia Tech, and then you play Pitt at the end. I can see them losing one of these next four. I don't think they'll make it to their what do they call that? Their conference championship game. So.
What do you guys think about Memphis and Virginia, though?
Virginia barely beat Washington State, who lost to Oregon State on Saturday. So shout out to the Beavers getting a win over the Cougars in the Pac-12. If they win the next one, this is game one. Pac-12 champions, Oregon State. But Virginia, they're regional. So is Georgia Tech. All these ACC teams are fucking Reggie. And
I think Georgia Tech's not being predicted to make it anymore, which I like.
Well, no, they lost, bro. You can't be in
but
that.
Still, they're a one-loss team. But yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, looking at their conference record right now, Virginia, Georgia Tech, Pittsburgh, Louisville, or SMU, and Duke are all 4-1. Miami's 2-2 in conference play, so everybody else is ahead of them. So Miami's definitely not making their conference championship game. So Oregon's going to probably play one of those teams that I just mentioned. I think from the ACC,
they'll be probably the 6-7 team. Like throughout. I mean, this is if the season ended today, right? But 6-7, the 6-7 team. So it's like Oregon, Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, like Oregon, Georgia, and Ole Miss and BYU are all a mixture. I'm looking at the top 12, quote unquote, experts on ESPN's predictions.
The cool part about it is Georgia has the toughest schedule the last 5 weeks of the season because they play
they could fall out.
Texas. They play Georgia Tech, and if they win, and they got to play in the SEC championship game if they get there, so they might play Alabama again. So it's going to be a dog-eat-dog world SEC.
How is Memphis in the conversation? I need to look at their schedule because I see their name in the rankings, and they keep rising because other teams are falling. But that's another Georgia Tech, right? That's another team that isn't playing anybody, and they're just going to have a great-looking record.
Yeah, I don't. With the way that they changed some of the seeding within the college football playoff, an undefeated Memphis team if they can leave out an undefeated Florida State team, I know less teams, but like, man, they can leave out an undefeated Memphis team. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have any.
They're playing UAB, Tulane, Chattanooga, Troy, Georgia State, Florida Atlantic, Tulsa, UAB again. UAB beat them.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to say, though. Going back to BYU. So they have to play number 9 Texas Tech on Saturday.
Okay, cool. So they're falling
Ve- very
I
likely
think
an
that's where
L.
game day's at.
Then they got to go to TCU, which is not an easy place to play.
Cakewalk.
Then they're at home against TCU. My bad. So TCU got to come to them, but then they're on the road against number 25 Cincinnati, which is, Cincinnati gonna score some points. And then they play. They finish the season at home at UCF, and to be honest, I could tell you that BYU could lose all of those games. But it's not unlikely that they would lose 2 of them. So then you got Utah creeping back in. They got a softer schedule. A 2-loss Utah team get to the Big 12 championship. I can see them. I can see them sneaking in as a dark horse.
I think this is a typo. So one of these experts, it's got to be a fucking typo or joke. This dude, what's his name? Max Olson has North Texas as the 12th team getting in. And I'm like, what? North Texas?
Out of conference?
They're third in the AAC.
Yeah, Sun Belt or something like that.
That's
AAC.
typo.
Okay,
it's a typo. They've lost.
Yeah.
They lost to UAB. They lost to
that's got to be a typo, bro.
Texas San Antonio. They got
Moving
spanked
on
by Cal. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, Max guy. There's another high-profile coaching vacancy. The Auburn Tigers, right on cue. Where do you slot that in with the Penn State and Florida and what was the other opening?
LSU, Florida, Penn State,
LSU.
UCLA.
That we were talking about just last week.
Auburn easily the worst of those jobs because almost similar to Penn State, where like Auburn thinks that they're Alabama and Georgia, and they're just not. And
they're always gonna be little bro.
Yeah, and like they had some good runs there, the Cam Newton teams, and even like the early on Bo Nix teams were all right, but like they're not Nick Saban Alabama, they're not Kirby Smart Georgia, and they think they are. And so the expectations for whoever coach takes that are just going to be unrealistic. And so I still say that is just not, even more so than Penn State. I think that you're in the SEC. It's just that much more difficult to win at Auburn right now, just given how strong the top of the SEC still is.
I'm inclined to agree, JD.
Yeah, I just Auburn has always been the little brother to Alabama. I mean, they have 2 SEC championships, which is more than a lot of teams in the last 25 years. But let's be honest. Auburn, actually, they've won 3. My bad. I just thought about the other team. But in my mind, a clock is right twice a day, a broken clock. So on talent alone, you should be able to figure it out every 20-plus years at Auburn. That's just what I feel like. And they're one of those programs.
Well, to be fair,
they're turning it into a basketball school.
They won 7 national championships during the offseason. So let's give them that. Let's not forget the 1910, the 1913, 1914 teams, and the
that's right.
83.
Never forget, bro.
4 teams.
Never forget.
Self-proclaimed. That's a joke, bro. Yeah, I agree. That's out of those 4, that would be the 4th. I think UCLA might even be more attractive.
Yeah, but along that note, though, Kris, like how many high-profile jobs are open in one offseason, man? I don't know. I'm not going back through history and looking.
Keep Dan Lanning and happy, please.
I'm saying, but like there's a lot of jobs. It's like somebody ain't hiring a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, like somebody gonna be looking for
an NFL coach to come down and like a Rex Ryan or somebody.
A couple of these teams gonna be looking for a new coach again in 2 years, man. And that's just facts here, man.
Ducks remaining schedule still looking tough, man. We got Iowa this week. We got Minnesota. Then we have 2 big ones. The USC game, which they narrowly escaped Nebraska. I was about to text you guys, but they weren't. I had no I didn't have any worry that they were going to lose that game. I had every bit of confidence that they were going to pull that off. The black uniforms threw me off, though. At first, I thought it was Northwestern. Then maybe like a Day of the Dead shout-out uniform, but no, it was for some completely other reason. But yeah, USC and then UW, they're all winnable games, but there's also some potential, speed bumps in there. I see us going 4-0 in those four. Do you guys agree?
I think USC could give them a real problem just because USC can throw the ball all over the field. And, I know we talk about Indiana kind of grinding it out on the ground, but to JD's point, like they didn't have a lot of explosive runs like at all. But, coverage.
They couldn't stop Sherritt. Like Sherritt
was right. And so like I'm more concerned with that game than maybe I was at the start of the year because of where USC's strength is, the Ducks' weakness is, and USC, they're actually, they can block a little bit on the old line this year, a little bit, I'm not saying they're greatest line in the country, but they're giving Mayava time to throw the ball. And the Ducks, as good as their defensive ends are, I don't know where they've been the last couple of weeks, man. And so, yeah, I worry about that game, Kris. I really do.
Yeah, and USC's creative play calling, too. I don't know if you guys saw I think it was a 2-point conversion, might have been a goal line score, where they did the trick play. Yeah. Quarterback was, pretending to audible, and the direct snap reverse to punch it in to really give them momentum.
Yeah, hey, Lincoln Riley can call some football, man. He can call some quarterbacks, right? Like, that hasn't been his problem. So, yeah.
JD, on the Ducks?
Yeah, it's time to put up or shut up. We're going out to, a solid road team. Iowa's not they're not Rutgers, they're not Northwestern. These are Kurt Ferentz, and, he's going to have his boys ready to play. The Ducks, we're not the big noon game, but we are where the big noon pregame show will be at. So game's at 12:30. So for us West Coast guys, cool. Game's going, I don't like it per se because I do like watching the Ducks at night. There's something about watching our team at nighttime, which is fun. But the rest of the schedule is going to show us, are we ready for a playoff run come January and beyond? Is that nephew Frank?
It's a house. It's a guest of Frankie's.
Okay.
got the BC there, huh?
Okay.
I just think that it's time for Dan Manning to get some
house guest. Okay.
Shout out to the house guest. Faux sheaves. I think this schedule is great because it's not cupcake games. You know what I'm saying? These are. This is all-time great TV right here. This is all-time great TV. I think it's we're not playing Division I AA teams like some teams have it in their schedule. There's no North Dallas, North Texas. We got Iowa, Minnesota. Washington on the
USC,
road,
and then the rivalry game. Yeah.
So
but that's what I'm saying. Like when we talked about this, when we talked about this weeks ago, that was my point, JD. Like, so yes, could y'all lose or could the Ducks lose? They absolutely could. But if they make it through and win, I think they're hardened for the playoffs. I think they're ready to go. And so I'd rather have it that way than go in playing against a bunch of cupcakes. You know what I'm saying? So like I think they can do it.
Hey, they can do it, bro. Hey, let's end on this note, man. A weekly hypothetical. We ain't had one in a minute. JD, man, you usually brought those hypotheticals to us, but
yeah, my bad. I gotta get back on my stuff. I gotta get back on that, man. This is good content.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I was talking to KJ. They had the Kingco all conference teams come out. The Issaquah tight end got second team, and the guy that got first team isn't going to play, high profile college football. The guy on Issaquah that got second team is getting offers from Montana, and I think actually Redwoods was trying to get him to come play there. And So I was asking him, I was like, well, would you rather be a star at a small school, an FCS school in North Dakota State, or would you rather be a role player at a Power 5 school? You know? So I posed that question to y'all. JD, would you rather be a role player at Oregon, at Alabama? Would you like to be a Devin Brooks at Oregon, or would you like to be a Jared Zabransky at Boise State, or you know what I'm saying, like a stud at a not high profile school?
Get me the star all day of the week, man, because when you are the
Yeah, it
man,
would be Yeah, you already know JD. Yeah, you already
you are
know.
the man, you're gonna get
already
more
know.
likely some looks to go to the pros. When you're just a
That's true.
role player,
That's true.
you know, when you're just a role player, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be getting the bag when you at U of O or Alabama, but look, there's something about being that college legend, you know, at Boise State, Carson Wentz at North Dakota State, you know, the Trey, like being him at some of these smaller schools pays off way more than just being them at some of these schools, if you know what I mean.
I mean, there's so many levels to this discussion though.
Especially
we could talk about
now,
this.
with NIL.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we could talk about this for a long time. I'll try and keep it short, but like the things that like are going through my head on the consideration of, like, to JD's point, okay, small school star, I don't think that prohibits you or hurts you from getting to the NFL now, right? So if you're a killer at a small school, you got a shot to get to the NFL. But you know, also, if you're a role player at Alabama, that's a big difference between a role player at UCLA, right? And so if we're talking about any Power 5 school, I don't know that I would take any Power 5 school being a role player.
Blue blood school.
Okay, blue blood school. Then here's the thing. You might be making enough cash in college right now being a role player on an Alabama or a Texas that, like, whether you make it to the NFL, you are set up for success for your life. And so, man, I think I gotta pick the role player, just because, like, we've seen people like Josh Jacobs. You know, he was like a part-time back at Alabama, never started. Like, I mean, and look what happened to him. And I think one of the best running backs in the NFL, right? So, like, that's the example that's sticking to my head right now.
Okay. My take is this. My answer is the same. My take is similar. Role player on a blue blood, a Power 5 school, because you can get the bag. But even pre-NIL, iron sharpens iron. And if you're going against better competition every day, you are who you hang out with. You are who you compete against with. And you're one injury away from next man up, and you have that exposure. So I'm gonna go role player, blue blood, Power 5 school for those reasons. And for those reasons, I'm out. My dude,
I like it.
It's been real. We'll catch y'all next week. Have a good one. JD, take care of that back. Junior, take care of those braids.
All right, man.